Welcome, welcome, welcome to the We Are All Idiots podcast. I am your idiotic host, joined by two other idiots, Jeremiah Doyle. I am joined by our independent gaming idiot, Jason Sirkovic. Alrighty then. And our Nintendo idiot, Mikey McLaughlin.
Hello.
So I just wanted to take a moment to apologize to our listeners, all of our, four listeners, that we have not done this in a while. We've had some serious complications. These two can actually testify to that.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Today has been trouble itself.
Indeed it has been. Indeed it has been.
5 and 6 kidney stones just from this day.
Dude,
I got
watched
7.
Like, my house is on fire.
Not right now.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
sitting in your house right now.
Yeah, you can see the lot fire. Like, my computer's on fire right now.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh,
See,
yeah.
I mean, we're kind of in trouble here. I mean, I spent like $600 on that.
It's the reason why this room's so goddamn hot.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus. I'm going to take a nap, and I probably won't wake up from this. All right, so...
Okay, so
Video game.
now that video games, pop culture, movies, anime, that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to start by asking, what has everybody been up to? Watching TV shows, playing video games? What have you all been up to? Let's start with Mikey.
So I've been introduced to a bunch of great games. Life is Strange. Oh my god. Her Story. Oh my god, times 2. Civilization 5. Now I'm addicted. Thanks, Jason. And now I'm going to be currently playing Persona 4, which I'm having a very hard time getting back into, and Shadow of the Colossus.
Just make it through Naruto's dungeon, and you're on the home stretch.
Oh boy.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So I just want to hear what your thoughts are. Why are you so addicted to Civ 5? Civilization 5.
So Jason bought it for me for my birthday. He bought me the $50 DLC bundle and everything. I did one game. I loved it. Like, I destroyed everything. Then I did a game with some friends that ended in a train wreck. And now, Jason was watching me play this, like, right when he got here. I'm playing as Japan. I've set victory conditions to only world dominance, like from military wars and stuff. And I kill a city-state. I have 3 nations on me right now. Like, I'm panicking. The game is just so good. Jason can explain it better than I can.
Okay. Well, basically, the reason why Civilization's so great is because it has a lot of small ways to make things very addictive. So, and also it's very refined, and it's also incredibly stressful yet calming. It's the weirdest combination ever. I mean, like the music it plays, kind of the ambiance that it kind of holds. It's incredibly amazing. One of the deepest games I've probably ever played. I mean, I talked to you, especially Jeremiah, about this. Like, I've logged about 500 hours, and I have not played every single character. And every single map. I haven't played every single map, I haven't played every single character, and I've played 500 hours. I mean, imagine how much it would have to take for me to do all of that. It would just be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Also, I think the best way to also explain why it's so good is because it's one of the most unintimidating strategy games I've probably ever played, which is really nice. It's incredibly not intimidating. The tutorial kind of slowly but surely eases you in, and then you feel incredibly confident. And you're always learning new things. I just taught Mikey something, and I don't know how long he's been playing, maybe like 8-10 hours.
Yeah.
And I already taught him something, and he's like, I didn't know you could do that. I'm like, yeah, you can.
500
500 hours later. But yeah, I mean, it is my favorite game I've ever played, which is scary to think about because for a long time it was Left 4 Dead, and then before that it was
Call of Duty.
The first Call of Duty, and then yeah. So
Yeah. Okay.
So Jeremiah,
Well, hold on
here's
a
my question
second.
for you. Oh, sorry, go on.
Hold on. I want to ask Mikey because I am absolutely in love with Persona. I know the other two idiots that are not here. Rest in peace. Just kidding. They're not actually dead. But
Rest in peace.
yeah, rest in peace, Anthony and Aaron. I'm not the only one that loves Persona, but I just want to know, Mikey, why are you having so much trouble with Persona?
You
Persona 4
know,
Golden.
this is really complex. Like, I've been playing the games, like, addictively up to this point in Naoto's Dungeon. Like, I really don't know what happened, but I think, I really don't know how to explain it. Like, I love it. I honestly, God, love this game. It's so amazing. But I
Yeah,
just can't.
okay.
Something kicked me in the face, and I can't get like right back into it. It's so
All right.
difficult. I don't
Okay.
know why.
Well, you just got to push through it, really. You're in the last dungeon. You're in Naoto's dungeon, aren't you?
That is indeed true.
Okay. What floor are you on?
I think it's 5.
Okay, you're maybe about halfway or a third of the way through the dungeon.
Yeah.
Once you get through that, that's when the story really picks up. That's when I got absolutely addicted. Because I totally agree with you. I played this game a year and a half ago. That's when I first picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you. It's a little hard when you've been playing for, I think I was at about 50 hours at that point. 50, 60 hours, something like that.
Yep.
And when you get that far in one game, it's just,
Yeah.
let's just get over it.
Hey, Jeremiah, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's Fire Emblem Awakening?
I'll get there. But once you make it through Naoto's dungeon and you get that story, because up till now it's really been setting up the story. Now, once you get past Naoto's dungeon, it's just, here you go. Here's
Happy
the story.
birthday.
Pretty much. But I really want you to finish that game because we love it. Jason enjoyed it. He just couldn't get through it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not his type of game, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, because when I played it, I really liked it. I mean, like, I was just playing it, and then it was just one point, I think it was like, I don't remember how long I was in. It was only a couple hours in, where it just kind of, like, let me loose, and I was just incredibly intimidated by it, and I was just like, all right, I'm done. I'm completely lost. I don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
But
all right.
there's nothing wrong with it. I respect it completely. I mean, I could see why it's such a great game. I mean, it's an incredibly great game. It's got, there's so much to it.
Yeah.
Which is really, it's nice.
Maybe we'll do a spoiler cast when Mikey finishes.
Oh, God.
65.
The game's several years old, maybe 3-4 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's still good. Anyway, Jason, what else have you been playing besides Civ 5?
So, Mikey mentioned it earlier, and I would have to say Her Story and Everyone's Gone to the Rapture are the two games that I played. I also played a lot of Witcher 3. I loved it. It was great. But definitely, I think it's really odd because Her Story surprised me the most.
Oh, God. Don't.
It's possibly, I mean, as storytelling in general, it's probably one of the best stories told in a video game.
That game has put so much stress on me. Jason can vouch. Like, I just groan every time I find something new that's like a twist. And it's like, you find those so fast, and it's like, oh, no.
And so for listeners that don't know what Her Story is, and I recommend you definitely take a look at it and kind of see what's it all about. But Her Story is, I mean, it's basically Papers, Please meets a cop show. It's a very weird and unique kind of way. It's got the very textile kind of gameplay to it, and it's one of those things where it doesn't grab you by the hand and, pull you across the story. You have to figure it out yourself. I bought it for $6.99 full retail price, and it took me like 10 hours to beat the game.
Wow.
I mean, that's because
That's
some games, yeah, it's pretty.
That's a damn size chunk.
And I didn't even 100% it. I got to the ending, which, by the way, is one of the best endings I have ever played in a video game, because it just came out of nowhere. And it makes sense, but it came out of nowhere.
Okay.
It was made by an ex-Silent Hill guy. But yeah, it's really hard to describe the game and kind of what it's like. All I can tell you that it's very textile and very very old-fashioned, which I like.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, First Story is on PC. It's also an iOS game. I really recommend anybody out there to please check it out.
Do it.
It's really good.
Do it.
It's the only game that I've ever played where I have had a notebook by my computer just filled pages of just things and notes and ideas and keys and maybe things that might be going on and theories that I have about the story. I mean, I showed Mikey it on my PC, and he probably has about 4 pages full of words.
I think I passed you in pages of words.
Yeah, you did.
Like, I wrote everything down that was, like, something that could give a big clue, but at the same time, you can't be too careful, because if I missed, like, one key word, I'd probably beat myself up over it. And Jason was just at the point where he got angry with me because I was writing down so many words. I made him replay clips at least, like, 2 times each, just to make sure words were written down.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, Her Story, check it out.
All right. All
Jeremiah,
right.
what have you been playing, dude, besides Awakening? Like, I need to hear what you think about it.
Well, I've been playing not too much because I just moved into my new college, so I don't bring my PS4 with me. I don't have my Vita because Mikey has my Vita. So really what I've been playing is Fire Emblem Awakening, Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS. Before I left my PS4, I was playing a lot of Bloodborne, taking a break from Destiny because I'm not even sure I'm going to get the Taken King. I'm really not.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't know how I feel about everything that I'm hearing. I might wait and see who else is playing it. See
Aaron?
if I can get friends to play it. Yeah. I mean, Aaron might keep playing it, but at the same time, it has a raid, so you really need like 4 people in order to do a raid. I can solo most of Crota's End by myself, most of it.
Yeah.
But you don't need one because a lot of people can actually solo Crota's End by themselves completely. I haven't been able to do that yet, so I'm going to keep working on that when I get my PS4 up here. But anyway, back to Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah.
I love it. I really
Okay.
do. And I'm not used to liking these. I mean, I've never played a tactics game before. I really haven't. But I love chess. And Mike, you neglected to tell me that it's basically chess, but you move all your pieces before everybody else, before the other team.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Man, I can't give away all the surprises.
You're letting us down,
No,
Mikey.
You could have told me it was a tactics game.
I thought
That's
I
really
did.
what I was asking. No, you didn't. I asked about the gameplay. I asked if it was turn-based. And you said yes, and I assumed that meant like Persona or Pokemon.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I was wrong. But
It was half right.
I can't really, yeah, I'm not blaming you. I'm really blaming myself for not asking the correct question, I guess.
Like,
So, anyway, Fire Emblem Awakening, I love it. But right now, I'm stuck on Chapter 17. That battle is a bitch.
oh, which one is 17? Like, is it with all is it all promoted units and everything?
I'm missing, I think, half my squad is not upgraded yet. So.
You should probably use the DLC because if it's the chapter I'm thinking about, you're going to need to use that EXP DLC because I warned you at that point. There's a very stupid level curve, and it's a difficulty spike that shouldn't be there.
Oh, I almost made it to the boss. I almost made it to the boss my first time, and every time I lose in a battle, I shut it down. Like I legitimately shut down my 3DS, and then I take a break, and then I come back like the next day. In fact, I'm actually letting it load up right now, so when we're done with this podcast, I can play it some more.
But if
But
you really can't get past it, do the EXP DLC. It will make your life so much easier for it.
all right.
It only takes like 3 attempts at it because it's basically a way of tower defense where you have enemies coming at you, but they don't attack you at all. They run from you. So you have to fight them and everything and like cut them off, corner them and stuff because they will do everything they can to avoid you and get out of the map.
All right. Anyway, so I love the story. There's a couple curveballs.
Yes.
Like, how old is this game, Mikey?
This came out 2012, 13, spring 13.
Okay, I don't feel like spoiling it then, but there's a couple curveballs in the story that I did not see coming.
Good.
And it was interesting. So I can't wait to finish this game because then I might, depending on how it ends, I might actually buy Fates instead of borrow it from somebody.
The thing is, though, you might miss some things because I've already ruined Fates for me in the best ways possible. Like, I'm overhyped. And
yeah, I know you are, Mike. We've had, yeah.
Now, just for the sake of Awakening, to maybe make things make a little bit of sense for Fates. Because there are some very, very small ties between the two. Very small. Yeah.
I might just have you explain me what what the other side of the different choices are, rather than having to play through it again for another 30 hours.
I can't, because they are very significant, like completely.
No,
different.
I don't mean for Fates. I mean for Awakening.
Oh, Awakening. Yeah, we'll get to that soon.
Yeah, we'll get there. Anyway, so let's move on from this. But I just wanted to say, I like Awakening. I really do. It's just not my typical kind of game. Kind of like Civ 5 isn't Jason's kind of game, or it wasn't. Her story isn't really your guys' kind of game, but you love it. That's that's all I'm trying to say. So, anyway, let's move on to our news. Each one of us has brought a news topic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start with Jason this time. What is your news?
The news topic for me would be recently about the we actually just found out about this a couple hours ago.
Like, this just came out today, I think.
Which was I was kind of listening a little bit, and it was about a couple of shooters going up to the Pokemon Championships in Boston.
World's Tournament for TCG and video games. TCG's the card game.
Yeah, and it
trading card game.
And, Mikey was showing me that one of the both shooters are actually competitors of the tournament, which I find really incredibly interesting. I actually looked the guy up on YouTube, and he showed up, and he has his own YouTube channel and everything else like that, and he was one of the shooters. And it was an AA-12,
shoddy,
a shotgun, and like 100 rounds of ammo.
Knife, can't forget the knife.
I can't forget about the knife. There you go. And I mean, it was like weird because it was one of those things that came out of nowhere. I mean, especially if they're competitors, you know what I mean? And it doesn't really make sense. But yeah, I mean, they're contained. The tournament still goes on, and yeah, I thought that was really interesting. It was just something I was never going to expect in general. So
yeah, that's really quite interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I skimmed the article. So I know the basics of it, but that's really quite interesting that they showed up with 100 rounds of ammo.
Well, no, they were pulled over, Jason.
I mean, yeah, they were pulled over right at the center.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't make it. Thank God.
They were
close. God knows what would have happened if they made it in.
Well, if you get what I was saying was, like, the way I understood it was that they made it there, but then the cops stopped them, and then they checked everything, and la-di-da-di-da.
Yeah, that's what happened. So basically, like, they were at the center in the parking lot when they caught him.
That's what I thought. Okay. I just didn't know that they had like 100 rounds of ammo. Like,
yeah, and they had 100 rounds of ammo in the trunk and everything else like that. All of the weapons were in the trunk. So it was before they got everything out, and were armed. Yeah. It was, it was very close. But yeah, I thought it was
the whole shotgun. I can't remember which one it was. What was it? AA? Something like that? That shotgun, I think that one's actually supposed to be kept out in the open in Massachusetts, if memory serves. I don't think it's supposed to be hidden. I don't know. I don't feel like looking up the laws for
Hey, my gun
firearms.
laws uses is not my forte. That is for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, definitely.
My
Anyway,
least knowledgeable
Mikey.
idea.
Yeah. Mikey, our Nintendo expert, what do you think of this?
You know, this is the weirdest thing ever because this has never really happened. Like, Pokemon hasn't had this kind of issue before. Like, shooters actually like trying to go to the World Championships event or just any events in general. Like, this is a first, you know? And the fact that it's like two already like pro competitive players, like I pulled up a video, like the shooters were 27 and 18. The 27-year-old guy was like a winner, previous winner of the Masters division for TCG.
Really?
And like, yeah. And he was being interviewed by this YouTuber about like the cards he was using and everything. Like he seemed like an average competitive winning guy. Like wasn't bragging per se, but like he was just being interviewed. And the fact that this just basically came out of nowhere. By the way, they made a Facebook post saying this kind of stuff, like all geared up and ready to kill the competition at Worlds. Obviously misunderstood, even though they had guns on the car when they took the photo. But
Yeah.
ridiculous. I've shown this to friends already, and it's already developing still. Like people are actually still posting it, and they're just like, "This is disgusting. This is why. I can tell there's a motive. I'm just very confused.
I'm gonna say this right now. It actually isn't an original thing. Like it's not a new thing. Because look at the Aurora shooting from years ago. This is just a different area, really, for that kind of a thing. It just seems like a copycat to me.
It's like at a video game convention, like Pokemon Worlds, like
And it's not even that. The thing that surprises me the most about it is that it's not even just people people that are observing. They're people that are actually in the tournament.
they were invited and everything.
They were a part of the rounds of the tournament, which means that it's not like they had any like
grudges. Like they didn't get denied. They were invited completely and everything. So that's not a motive,
No, not at all. But all I'm saying is that it's not really an original thing because it has happened in
Right.
Aurora, and it's happened several times since then. I think one of them just happened a month or so ago. And I think one happened in Arizona about a month ago. I could be wrong though. But yeah, it's kind of screwed up, but let me rephrase that. It's extremely screwed up. But I don't know, it's just not original to me. It just seems like another copycat, just a variation. That's all.
Okay.
Anyway, Mikey, what's your news?
So, I'm going to bring this up now. And this was something I had a big discussion with friends like a week ago. And this is regarding Fire Emblem Fates. So,
Okay.
Jeremy, you get a little teaser. There's no spoilers. Nothing specific will be mentioned. But
Hear that, listeners? Hear that, all of our 5, 6, maybe 7 listeners? There's no spoilers, so you're fine.
So, this game, Fates, 3 different stories, lots of gray zones in this game. Like, there are gray zones everywhere right now.
Okay.
And this is a huge controversy, actually, in the game, where in Fire Emblem, there are support conversations, like to make units closer to each other, right?
Yeah.
There is a character, no spoilers or anything of what this character is, but it's a girl. And her personality is she's very attracted to females, right? So she's heavily implied to be bisexual. One character in her supports gives her a potion, and it's to get her out of her, I guess, she has problems with communicating with women because she like faints and stuff. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of like a love at first sight kind of thing in a weird way, but
yeah,
it ends up like this character can marry her. And it's such a controversy because people are like, this person is drugging this girl into getting out of her bisexuality in a way where it's like heavy, it's almost lesbian, very close to like being implied she's a lesbian, but she's
Yeah.
not. She's
Okay.
not. In the game, she is only marryable to guys and stuff. But her personality, you know,
Yeah.
like this has been discussed. I don't see it as a big issue per se because I was having a very big issue. Like this guy I was arguing with was like, he's drugging her. This is bad. You don't drug people, okay? Like, okay. But okay. Thank you, Jason. But I said my argument, and it was kind of fair, was like, it's not the intention of getting her to love him. It's the fact like she's having problems with like being around women. So this was to calm her down and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's not the intention. It's not like a date rape scenario kind of thing where it's like the roofies.
Okay.
It's entirely to help her. Do you have any thoughts on this, Jason?
I really, I'm going to be honest with you, I have no care when it comes to Fire Emblem in general.
Fair enough.
So,
Do you have anything on the controversy itself, though?
you know, I am completely indifferent to it. So, I mean, it's really hard for me to contribute to it because I just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem important to me.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I've seen. I mean, I mean, I'll just basically wait till the game comes out, and then we'll see the controversy that kind of rises from that. But
Unless dialogue has changed.
unless they cop out and just do the dialogue changes. But yeah.
Jeremiah, what do you think?
Well, I'm new to Fire Emblem, but I do have something to say on the controversy. I haven't actually read anything about this. This is actually the first I've ever hearing about it. So
And
what
good that
I'm
you
really-
haven't be spoiled on what exactly was going on. Like,
yeah, and I do appreciate that. But what I'm going to say is, I haven't played the game, so I'm really not going to have a full opinion on it until I play the game. So, like, that's how I feel. Like, if you haven't played a game, I don't think you're allowed to have a full-on, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this, I don't like that of a game. That's, like, I've had this conversation with Mikey plenty of times.
But do you have anything to say about the actual
I do. Yeah, I was getting there. The whole idea of this is the reason I completely agree with you out of what I understand, Mikey, that it's not a date rape scenario. It's just helping her. It's like a tonic.
Yeah,
A
it
tonic
is a potion
yeah.
tonic.
A tonic just quells the butterflies in somebody's stomach, really. That's all it does. And tonics have been used since the Middle Ages.
Yep.
Yeah, they were thought to be potions, and Fire Emblem, as far as I can tell, and this is only out of Awakening, but it's set in a medieval era type universe. Swords, bows, arrows, magic, alchemy, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So it makes sense that that it could be called a potion, but in reality, all it is a tonic.
Yep.
So I don't think it's necessarily a date rape, but I understand it from a developer's perspective too. You can make somebody have a certain personality through voice acting, through writing, through everything. But it's so much harder to program that into the game. It sounds so simple to have her be able to marry another girl. It really does. But if you get down to the nitty and gritty of it, that's hundreds and hundreds of lines of code that goes into this. And someone, maybe a team of somebody's, will have to go in there and write that code and say, if you meet these certain conditions, you got to do this, you got to do that, then you can marry her. Or if you don't do this, if you don't do that, then you can't marry her, or everything like that. So that's all I'm going to say on that topic, really. So my news, this is not really something for conversation. It's just something for listeners, really. And for you, Mikey, even though I think I told you about it, is the newest world in Kingdom Hearts 3 that has been revealed was Big Hero 6, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If anybody is interested in Kingdom Hearts 3 and you have not watched Big Hero 6, do not look at the concept art. The day after that world was revealed, the day after D23, I watched Big Hero 6. Granted, it was a freaking ordeal because I had to watch it on my iPod, and this internet where I'm at sucks. But I watched it, and then I went back to look at the concept art because I don't like to look at concept art until I already know the backstory. I went back to look at it, and I see that, crap, I can't remember the Bubble's name.
Bubble?
Anyway, yeah, the medic thingy guy that Hero rides on. Baymax, that's his name. Anyway, the Baymax, there are 2 Baymaxes in there, and it is explained why in the movie Big Hero 6. So stop looking at the concept art and watch the movie if you don't really want to be spoiled for the movie.
They said the game takes place after the events of Big Hero 6.
Exactly. And that's why you have to get through the movie first.
Yep.
Let me rephrase it. You don't have to, but I recommend it. I think it makes for a better story in Kingdom Hearts. Because, it's the sequel, really. Because if you were to look back on previous worlds, like Agrabah, Aladdin and what's her name? Jasmine are already together. That takes place after the first Aladdin. Then some of the other worlds that I don't feel like thinking about right now, they take place after the movies. Like after the movies. Or even during the movie even. Technically. Pirates of the Caribbean. Like the Pirates of the Caribbean world.
You've got Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep, that one takes place.
Olympus Coliseum. That kind of, in a way.
In a way, yes. It's a sequel, but at the same time, it kind of disregards the ending of one.
It's a good one?
Of Hercules 1. Yeah.
Little Mermaid. Because in the first game, it takes place before the movie entirely. Second game, it takes place as the events of the movie.
Yep.
And then the third one, just by process of elimination, it would be after.
Actually, they have said, Square Enix has said that all the worlds except for Olympus Coliseum, and I don't know if they've said this, but I'm willing to bet almost anything because it's been in almost every single gameplay. The world that is Twilight Town.
Oh, Twilight Town's back in it.
Yeah, Twilight Town is going to be back. I'm willing to bet Traverse Town is going to be back in it too.
And,
but other than that, all the worlds are supposed to be new ones, which is why it's such a big deal when a new world is revealed, like Tangled and Big Hero 6.
There's one you forgot about.
Huh.
In Birth by Sleep, there is one that's I'm willing to bet like 99.9% is going to be back, which is the Keyblade Graveyard. That's where the final.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what the whole story has really been about. Yeah, the first game really talks about Kingdom Hearts and getting to Kingdom Hearts, but we actually don't know what Kingdom Hearts is. Birth by Sleep goes into depth about the Keyblade War. The Keyblade War is discussed in 1, I think Chained by Memories, and definitely in 2. So it's going to be discussed, and then it's really, really heavily implied that 3 is going to be about the Keyblade War or the next Keyblade War in Dream Drop Distance because of the trials. Like they're trained to become Keyblade Masters.
Yep.
So anyway, that's my news. So Mikey, I know you haven't seen Big Hero 6. Stop looking at the concept art.
Oh.
And watch the movie.
Everybody dies. Everybody. Including the director. He just dies right there, right in the middle of it. Mikey just blew up. I know. He's dead.
I like it. All right, so that's our news. Anybody have anything to say about My Kingdom Hearts, or should we move on?
Look at the concept art, however I damn please. I will look at it sideways.
There you go.
And then I will kick your ass.
You heard it live here. Not really live. But you heard it here regardless. He's going to kick it.
Okay. Well, if nobody has anything else to say on news, let's move on, shall we? We each brought our own question. Or Mikey?
So we have to talk about Aaron and Anthony really quick. So what happened was Anthony was flying here from Oregon, and I didn't know the plane crashed. He lost a leg. He's limping to Colorado as we speak.
He's He's dragging along his 10-pound bowling ball, his lucky autograph glow-in-the-dark snorkel, too.
Yeah, exactly. And Aaron's car flipped on the highway. It blew up. Aaron's currently on Mars trying to hitchhike.
Don't you hate when that happens? You're
Right?
just hitchhiking on Mars.
Dude,
and
I got
nobody
stuck.
picks up.
I got
He's
stuck
gotta-
on. I had
he's
to
gotta-
hitchhike like.
He's got to call the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, people.
Ooh.
You could always just bring a towel.
That's
However,
Don't get to bring a towel. You're a towel.
but
Okay. So let's do our questions, shall we?
yeah, go for
Our
it.
topics.
Topics,
Let's start off
yeah.
with Mikey this time. What was your question/topic?
So this has been a question I actually never really thought about, and I thought when I thought of it, oh my god, this is like something that should be discussed. What sequel to a game do you guys want that hasn't been announced yet?
Alrighty.
Jason, I know you have an obvious answer.
Well, I do have an obvious answer, but I'm not even going to do the obvious answer.
Well, you should
I'm
share
gonna-
it at least.
I'll share the obvious answer, which is a great game that I really enjoyed that not a lot of people did, which was The Order 1886. I believe that it will get a sequel, without a doubt. It will get a sequel maybe 2-3 years from now. And also, the game that I'm thinking about, and the game that I was just, because when I was, sitting here kind of thinking about, what kind of sequels I would have, for the answers for this question, I was thinking about The Order, but then I was like, let's make it a little bit more interesting. I would really like a new Wolf Among Us Season 2.
Yes.
It's just, it clearly, it has so many answers to fill. And also it's just a great concept. I don't like all of the different ways that Telltale's going right now with all of their different kind of franchises. It's kind of need to stick to 2 or 3 at a time.
Yep.
We don't need Minecraft. We don't need a Marvel. We don't need these. You know what I mean? Like, you just finish what you have now, and then wait, and then do the other ideas that you have later when you're not doing the other ones. That's kind of the way I see it. Because there's other things that they could be working on, like, I don't know, a new game engine.
Absolutely.
There are bugs, like occasional moments where a character gets stabbed and then blood just appears out of nowhere. Like after completely, just it appears like painted on them, and it's like
That doesn't happen for you.
no, it's
Like in
happened.
real life. It doesn't happen to you in real life. 'Cause it happens to me.
Oh,
I get stabbed all the time, and then like seconds later,
the
I
blood just appears.
just appears, and then it goes
oh
away.
man,
Gosh,
dang it! I
get
gotta
your
go to
head
the
in the
doctor.
game.
Be right back.
Be
I gotta
like-
go to the doctor.
You're like Zac Efron. Just get your head in the game, okay? Okay. Speaking of Zac Efron and other crappy things, their engine is really crappy over at Telltale, and and basically, yeah, they should be looking at that, and then but yeah. Long story short, basically, Wolf Among Us Season 2, I would love to happen with the new engine, and just kind of more answers to, especially the last episode.
Plus,
Holy cow. Incredible.
what I love about Wolf Among Us, really quick, how it ends. It's either it's gonna get a sequel or it ends right there, which I think is a really interesting way. Like depending on how you do the last choice, which is like the last thing you click in the game, it's either gonna be a sequel or it's not, which is so cool.
Yeah. Agreed.
Alrighty, Darby. What is your answer to this question? What game do you think deserves a proper sequel?
I really don't know. I've been racking my brain about this for a long time now. But if I really had to say one, and I don't even know if you guys have even heard of this game. Jason, you might have, but it's called Klonoa.
Yeah.
It's a PlayStation game, Japanese. It's a side-scrolling PlayStation game. I love it.
It's so good.
I love that game so much. I know that they have like a Klonoa 1 and a 2, but I would love to see another one, or at least a reboot.
A reboot would be cool, yeah.
Because I grew up playing that game. That game was awesome.
Oh, it was
The vo-
awesome. I don't know how
Like
well
the voice act. There's no such thing as bad voice acting in that game, because it's all done on something different. Like it's a different language. The only thing that translates is the name of the people. So you hear Klonoa, you hear Lowell, I think that's her name, the priestess. But other than that, you really don't hear anything. Like, you can go through the whole game in the same way that Fire Emblem Awakening does, with just sounds or a word here and there. Or you can do the whole thing like they did in Klonoa, where you just say random syllables and noises, really.
That's what I do all the time, and it makes perfect sense to everybody.
But the gameplay in that game is so simple. It's so much like Rayman. Like, actually, I think it is. It's basically not Ubisoft's. I don't know who published the game, but it was an answer to Rayman, really, because they do have 3D aspects of it. You do run around in circles, but it's always left or right.
Yeah.
You do have the deeper in the maps and the shallower in the maps options, but it's always side-scrolling. And the puzzles are so interesting. They're simple puzzles of grabbing I can't for the life of me remember what the hell they're called, but grabbing them with a priestess in the ring and using them to defeat themselves, really. Solve puzzles, collect gems, everything. I love that game, and I would love to see a sequel or a reboot. Preferably a reboot, but anyway.
Yeah.
Mikey, have you ever heard of that game?
You know what? You want to hear something funny? Mikey just left.
Are you kidding me?
I am dead serious. He heard an ice cream truck outside, and he literally just got up and sprinted outside. Possibly the funniest thing you could probably hear of, but I'm pretty sure Mikey has never heard of that game, regardless.
Probably not. Okay.
Because he's probably being abducted right now by a bunch of people who are in an ice cream truck.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I can see that.
Be like, wait, you're not 12? God damn it. We lost him. We lost him. And Mikey's sitting there just completely terrified, like, like, fine, I guess. Oh, jeez.
Mikey's going to be locked in the back of the ice cream truck where there's like a little futon on the ground and ice cream all around him. Then the pedophile is going to get back to his lair and he's go, wait a second. You're not 12.
I could tell because you have a goatee. 12-year-olds get facial hair nowadays? I don't know, but oh, he's back.
He's back. Yay. So, Mikey.
No.
You didn't get ice cream? Why did you not get ice cream?
Because it's not here. There is an ice cream truck outside.
Go get it.
No, it's not here yet. That thing's it's gonna come here. I'm gonna stream ice cream and run out there, slam the door, and just flail my arms to this ice cream guy. Because I've not been in an ice cream truck for like 7 years.
So this is the We Are All Idiots podcast.
Literally.
Bleach. Clorox needs to patent this. They're like, all right, we got to patent this right now.
So Mikey, you didn't get ice cream, and you left the podcast. What is wrong with you?
Well, I am an idiot. I think that's
a fair point. That is a fair point. That is a very fair point.
All idiots.
Yeah.
I thought you guys noticed. I mean, we're all idiots here, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is a very fair point. You have a very good point there, Mikey.
Okay.
So let's move on, shall we? Mikey, what is your answer? What is your answer to your question?
I have 3 really quick answers.
Yeah, go for it.
And this was a long fire. So, Bully.
Okay,
I'd love to see Bully.
No, I love that. I love Bully, but yeah, go.
Conquers Fur Day. Bad Fur Day.
It's already happening.
Is it?
Yeah, it's happening.
Really?
It's an episodic game, yeah.
Oh.
Conquers Bad Fur Day. I think it's for Microsoft. It was announced like in December. So
I thought it was like a sandbox game. Whatever. Last one, Thomas was alone. I feel like it still has like 2 questions to answer. Because I played through everything. I beat the game in 14 hours. And I still think there is more they could do with the actual game and everything with the origin of, the universe they're in. And everything.
Yeah, and I don't know. For me, I disagree with you on that one because Mike Bithell, if you don't know who he is, he's an incredible human being.
Yep.
Just from what I've heard, and all of his games, both volume that just came out recently, and in my opinion, one of the most disappointing games I've ever played, because it was so close. It was so close to being great, but it wasn't. So yeah, volume and Tom Stallone both have so much heart, and he puts so much into all of his video games and everything else because he's the only developer for it. I mean, he's the only person that's making these games. I mean, of course, there's voice actors and things like that, and people working on music, but like he's the only person that is physically making the game, which is incredibly impressive. But yeah, I disagree with you on that one.
And I understand, but personally, I just feel like it could be done, not like right now, but a long time down the road, maybe when people like don't exactly remember it, or just really like there's a time where the game is brought up again. Wait, this is a thing.
But also, here's my question: is that which demographic would that hit? You know what I mean? Because like Thomas Alone, I'm gonna tell you, not a lot of people played it.
True.
So if they made a sequel, it would. I mean, because Thomas Alone is so story driven that, I mean, you would only sell. You wouldn't sell that many. I mean, like, you wouldn't make that much money off of it because people that would get it are
Fair
people
enough.
that really love Thomas Alone. Which, I mean, there's people out there that do, sure, but
Okay.
I just don't see it. But
Okay.
you're wrong in every way, and I'm here to shove it in your mouth with my opinion.
You're not getting nice.
I'm okay with that. We were just talking about how you were going to be trapped in a freezer with a pervert, Herbert the pervert, and he was going to be very pissed that you were not 12. Are you saying, oh, be glad you're not 12, because that means, yeah, that's a really bad ending if you're 12.
But I want to be 11. Like
You
no
can if you want. I
responsibilities.
mean,
Okay, cool.
quit your job.
Live at home, go back to elementary school or
Well, I mean,
middle school, whatever it is. Yeah. So, Jason, what's your question for the day?
Oh, my question. Hello there. So, yeah. So I guess we're moving on. My question for you guys, with the rare replay kind of coming around, my question for you guys is, what kind of a collection would you like to see happen? And there's several rules to this question. One rule is that you can't be like, Super Mario World. What was
Super
that collection?
Mario 30th anniversary collection?
Something like that on Wii U. Like, it doesn't count because it's
Yeah.
already been a collection.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's for the Wii, but
You know what I mean?
yeah,
right?
no,
Yeah.
I
So,
understand.
or like, Jeremiah, I hate to do this, but your Kingdom Hearts 2.45 is not one answer that could be used.
I
What
know,
about-
I know, and it's 2.75, you jerk.
like update. Could
Huh?
you update a collection? That's
No,
super
you
old?
cannot.
Okay.
You
All
cannot. It has to be a completely new collection.
All right, we're doing it.
All right.
All right.
Jeremiah, you are going first. I'm sorry to tell you.
Okay. Well, so I have a couple answers, and one of them that Jason's not going to like because I'm going to break the rule because I'm the host and I can do whatever the hell I want.
Oh man.
I'm going to say, I know we just had this conversation, so I'll go over it quickly. 2.75 Kingdom Hearts. I want that bad. I know, before any listeners kind of write me off, I know that Square Enix has said that 1.5 and 2.5 are not coming to PS4 or Xbox One. I still think they are. I will maintain that until the day I die. I will maintain that until the PS4 is done, until the Xbox One is done. Anyway, the next one. Now, this one actually goes along with Jason's rule.
Oh, you're following the
Persona.
rule now, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to say Persona.
Ooh. That'd
Persona.
Be a
I want Persona 1. I want all the Persona 2s, Persona 3, Persona 4 Golden. So just replace Persona 4 with Golden. And make sure the answer is available in Persona 3, obviously. And then Persona 5. I don't think Persona 5 will be in it, but who knows?
Boy, the game sucks.
But that's really what I want to see. I've played Persona 3. I've played Persona 4 a lot. And Persona 5 is my most anticipated game. Maybe of all time, actually. Because I'm in love with Persona 4. Like, as soon as Mikey gives me my Vita back, I'm jumping on and I'm going to work towards a platinum. I think I'm like 3 trophies off. But I want a Persona collection, really.
Okay.
Yes.
Other than that, I'm getting my Uncharted collection. So,
Good.
yeah, really just a Persona collection and Kingdom
Okay.
Hearts.
What about you, Mikey?
I want my Cory in the House anime collection. No, that's a complete joke. Okay, so this is a very complex collection. And I would wait on this until Nintendo thinks about remaking this, because they should, because it's very, very known little about, but I want to see a giant Fire Emblem collection where they remaster the first Fire Emblem game, the third, which is a sequel to the first, the second after it's like remade, which should be it's Gaiden. Nobody really knows about it. People give it a lot of trash because it was very outdated and it's just weird. Fire Emblem 6 and 7 because those go together. 8, and then the Ike Saga, which is Radiant Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, and then I guess Awakening, and then Fates. Honestly, just a giant collection for like a platform.
I'd buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, I've been enjoying Awakening. I don't mind it. I'll just set it on the lowest setting and play through the games for the story.
Which they all have great stories, which is
Yeah.
great.
I mean, I'm enjoying the hell out of Fire Emblem. And out of what I heard for Fates, I mean, Fates is the reason why I started playing Awakening to begin with, because Fates had my interest.
The trailers.
Woo. No, just really the concept of it. The whole
Okay.
idea that it changes stories like halfway through with one decision.
Oh, not
really
even.
that just caught my attention. But then I find out that you have to buy the digital version in order for that to happen.
No, you don't.
You
Well-
told me that I.
Well, here's the thing. They're both separate titles, so you don't get the choice effect. Like, it's chapter 6, so it's very early. You get the
Okay.
early game, what sets up to the decision. And then after 6, it's their own stories. So
See, that's the
digital-
digital version of it. I
version.
don't want to have to buy 2 games in order to experience the story. I
Here's
want
the
to be
cool-
able to make that choice
the
my
cool
first
thing is
time. Yeah.
that the second version, depending on which version you buy, is on discounted DLC, so you get the second game half off, basically. Which I think is a good deal because both games are full length. Like, you're not being ripped off for it.
Yeah. I might have to look into that. I did not know about that discounted
I-
DLC. I'm going to have to check into it.
Like, it's discounted DLC and everything. Like,
Discount double check.
what probably would happen is first game's like $40. You buy it for like the second one for like $20 on the eShop.
Okay.
Then you get to do like choices every time you play. The
Okay.
third story is going to be like either discounted or full price as another game. But after looking into it, I fully recommend you get it if you like both versions or one or the other, because the third one's a complete curveball, which
Okay.
Jeremiah, you should check it out if you like the first two.
Yeah.
So that's my...
Yeah. Chances are I will, because I'm enjoying Awakening. And Fates has my interest. But let's move on, shall we?
All right. Well,
Jason, what is your answer to your own question?
my own question? So, I thought this would be really, really cool. I know I like you guys' answers and everything, but clearly mine is superior to all of yours. Just throwing that out there. Because once you hear it, you'll be like, oh yeah, clearly. Oh yeah.
Do you want to
So-
die tonight?
Yeah, sure, why not? I'm joking. But,
Okay.
So
I am too.
I have 2 collections, but they're ironically from the same developer. One collection would be all Star Wars games from LucasArts.
I was thinking of that, yeah.
And that'd be awesome. I mean, like, I would exclude the Lego games because I don't know why they don't fit in that. You know what I mean? Like, I just
Yeah.
want
Yeah, I
those
gotcha.
all kind. That'd be cool. It'd be kind of like the Rare Replay. 30 games,
Yeah.
$30. I mean,
Yeah.
Humble Bundle did that, and when they had 11 games, and I only paid $1 for them, and they were absolutely wonderful. I mean, all of them were so good. I mean, they had, the Force Unleashed 1 and 2. Like, imagine if they had all of these games kind of just on one disc. Even on
Yeah.
the Super Nintendo, Star Wars Episode, 4, 5, and 6, that they both did all that for the SNES or, the Old Republic.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the second one that is also from LucasArts would just be an adventure LucasArts games like Sam& Max, Grim Fandango, all of this in a giant collection. Escape from Monkey Island, Escape from Monkey Island 2. They have Indiana Jones ones, they have Conker's Bad Fur Day. I mean, all of these games that they just stack on top and on top, and they have especially the 90s, they destroyed the 90s when it comes to great games. I mean, they were the quote unquote the Naughty Dog of the 90s. I mean, they had it all they had it, you know what I mean? That's basically the best way to explain it. I mean,
Yeah.
without a doubt, it's something that would be so awesome to go back to. It's just kind of, the Monkey Island series, like a Grim Fandango, and I also see kind of the other stuff that they have. Oh God, I'm trying to remember the other one that they had. It was Full Throttle. Full Throttle, that's what it was called. I'd love to experience Full Throttle again because Full Throttle was really good, incredibly underrated. But yeah, so those were my answers to my own questions.
Okay.
Do we have any objections against that? Do we have any compliments?
Objection!
Overruled.
I object to second LucasArts, but I'm okay with the Star Wars.
I see.
Yeah.
Opinions everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't handle that. Alrighty. So Jeremiah.
Let's move on here real quick. My question, my topic.
Alrighty.
Oh, jeez.
What game? Actually, it doesn't even have to be a game. What story, book, movie, TV show, game, anime, whatever, do you refuse to go back to because it was such an amazing experience the first time?
Okay.
Let's start off with Mikey.
So I have a very I don't believe it. I don't believe in that, honestly.
Really?
If there is a game that gives you that nostalgic effect, even though if you keep playing it over time in a row, it's going to probably ruin it. I don't believe that you should stop from watching something that gives you that much joy over and over and over and over again, or playing it or reading it or something like that. I would do what Jeremiah does with like Last of Us, where it's like a yearly playthrough per se, like to keep it updated in your mind enough to keep enjoying it, but not playing it like every other week.
Okay.
You should be able to play everything or watch everything or all that kind of stuff without having it ruined for you. I mean, I don't...
Here's a good question for you, Mikey.
Mhm.
Would you play Her Story again? If you knew the whole story, would you play Her Story again?
I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I would let you know probably not, because and it's kind of the same way with like Papers, Please and things like that. If you get the story, then because like the story is the only thing it's going for. You know what I mean? For those kind of games. Like Her Story, Gone Home, Dear Esther. I mean,
Everybody's gone, I'm sure.
But those kind of experiences, I mean, like, because in my opinion, the heart and soul of the game is the story. So once you know the story, what's the point of going back to it?
Well, to be fair, answering that, like, it's, I had a good response for this. Like, it's not the experience being ruined, though. You know everything about it. That's just...
But what's the point of going back? Because, like, you'll go there and you'll be like, I'm really bored. Okay, well, I got...
Well, that's not refusing to play it. because it's such a good experience. That's from like overplaying it and knowing every little detail about it where you've already worn yourself off from it. It's
Mikey, what I mean by this is everyone has that one story that they don't want to go back to because it's such an amazing story. Here, I'll break chain, okay? I'll go first. My answer to this is Persona 3. I have not played the answer. I know what the answer is. For those of you who have actually played Persona 3, you know what I'm talking about. But the reason why I refused, why I don't want to say I refuse, because chances are I will go back to play it for the answer at some point. But the reason why I don't want to go back to it is because that's what the story was. That's what the story was. I'm sitting there, I'm playing through the game, the twists, like, there's what, 3 twists in that game? 3 major ones that I can think of off the top of my head that I will not go into, so listeners, do not worry, no spoilers. But the way it works when it comes to the story aspect of this question is, if I were to go back through it, I go, I know this is going to happen. So I'm expecting it. I'm expecting this to happen. I'm expecting whenever I play because I replay The Last of Us every year, like you said. I'm expecting that twist at the beginning that I will not spoil again. I'm expecting that twist at the end. I'm expecting the twist with Tess. I'm expecting this. I'm expecting this. But like I know what it's going to happen. But when you're playing through it the first time, it's such a different experience. And when you play through it that second, that third, that fourth, that fifth time,
you don't get that feel.
You don't get that feeling. That's what I mean. You just want to preserve that feeling of, oh my God, right in the feels. Or what the hell just happened? That's what I mean.
Well, to answer again, I've never had that feeling with a game where I don't want to play it again.
Like I said, it doesn't have to be a game. It can be a book, a movie, a TV show, an anime. And I can guarantee you this, Mikey. I can guarantee this. You have had one of those. You just can't remember it.
Let me. Why don't you go to Jason? Jason, why don't you answer it, and I'll go back to it and actually think. Okay. I don't think I've ever had that moment, but I'll make it happen.
Okay. All right, so we already heard my answer. Jason, let's move on to you. What is your answer for this?
Okay, so, this one has a little story to it. So I'm going to tell it and kind of explain to you and everything else like this. And a game that, in my opinion, I will never touch again, just to preserve the experience that I had with it. There's 2 games that go to mind. First off, the first season of Walking Dead. Without a doubt, I could never do it. You know what I mean? Like, I already know my choices don't really matter that much. Like, I mean, they matter a lot for the story, but like, I don't want to know what, I already found out, and it's just going to be, it's going to be boring because, in my opinion, the reason why you play a video game is to see what happens next for a story. And that's the reason why I play video games is for the story. I mean, clearly. There are occasions when the mechanics are so good that you could just play the mechanics over and over and over again, like Call of Duty or
like Destiny,
or Halo or Gears of War,
Battlefield, Battlefront, those kind of games.
Yeah, Battlefield, Battlefront. But for me, and also, so my answer for this question would also have to be a game called The Novelist.
Okay, I've heard of it.
And it's really, really, it's the concept is very beautiful. It's basically you're a ghost that's haunting this house in Washington, and you're trying to keep this family together.
Okay.
Oh
yeah, you mentioned this before.
I'd like to interrupt everything to let you know that Mikey has just found the ice cream truck, and right now he's going for a dead sprint.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
you
listening. I hear it.
Are you sure?
It's not here yet, but I'm hearing it.
Are you sure?
I'm sure it's not here yet.
I apologize, Jeremiah. Mikey just scared the shit out of me. All right, well, had me like on point, and it was terrifying. But Sorry, go on. Were you saying something?
Yeah, I remember you mentioning this game before, and I was actually interested in it. But it's kind of like Gone Home, isn't it? In the sense that it's kind of a walking simulator.
Actually, no. It is. It's a stealth game, and this is what's super interesting about it. It's a stealth game in which you are a ghost, and so basically you have to stealthily go around this house, avoiding the family and everything, and you have to make decisions that, for the first time ever in a video game, they actually matter. They completely.
You showed me that.
Yeah, I showed you it.
Oh, I hated it.
It's
Stupid.
one of the saddest games you'll ever play too. It's just super sad, and like a great example is that the kid really wants to go out and play with his dad. So
Dad to write a novel,
but
and mom is like.
But dad wants but the dad really needs to reach his deadline, or else his book's done for, and then he's done for. Or the mom that's sitting there and he's like, I haven't had a romantic date with the father in ages. I really want that to happen. Which one do you choose? You know what I mean? Because if you choose one, then the other two are going to be sad. So it's one of those games where like you're not going to win at any of these choices, so you better go with it. And the game mechanics, they work. You know what I mean? Like it's very much being an observant of a house that's living and it's very much alive, and that's what I really loved about it. And I beat it in about 4 hours ish, and I will probably never go back to it. Like I'm okay with it too. I am very okay with never going back to this game. And it's in my top 20 video games of all time. Like it's my favorite. I will never go to it. I'll show people it, but like I will never go back to it. It's one of the best. It's one of the better $14 I've ever spent on a video game. And like 4 hours is fine with me, and that's it's kind of, and I'm okay with that.
No,
that's kind of an answer. Mikey, did you think of anything while you were chasing the ice cream truck?
There's nothing that comes to mind because everything that would take that experience, I'd play through twice willingly. Like,
really?
Nothing. Unless it's borrowing a game, I would still replay through it. Like, Shadow of the Colossus is one of those games that I'm enjoying the shit out of.
It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's one of the best games ever made.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's one of the games that would take that experience, But I would play through that again.
Yeah, because the mechanics are incredibly strong, yeah.
You would know what's happening. I don't know what the twists are yet. Maybe that'll influence my decision to change it, but I'm still probably going to play it because it's mechanically strong.
Yeah.
I'm not hit a game that I've never played through twice.
Really?
Unless
Mikey,
I
I'm not just talking about movies. I'm talking about stories as an overall thing.
There's always a story that I want to go back to. There's never one that I've wanted to leave alone for the first time after seeing it.
That's interesting.
Isn't it?
I mean, yeah, because it's really interesting.
Nope, I'm calling absolute BS on that. You just don't know it. Everyone has one. Everyone I've ever had this question with, everyone has always had one. I've had 100% success rate with this.
99, who knows?
Because I used to be exactly like you, Mikey. I used to have that exact thought. But then I thought about it. And I thought about it. And every time it would come, because Jason's brought this thing up several times in the past. But I thought about it. And I thought about it. And I thought about it. Then Persona 3 happened. I was like, and then that brought up other games, other books, other movies, other TV shows that I don't want to go back to. Because that's what the story was.
I don't have one. I'm legit. I've legit looked back.
I'm calling BS.
I've looked back between the first time I've ever played a video game and to what is right now. I have played everything that hasn't been borrowed to a minimum of 2 times.
It doesn't have to be once either.
No, I never neglected a game because it was so good. I don't believe in that.
Okay.
Or a story, or a movie, or anything like that. Like, I've had movies emotionally destroy me, but I still haven't hit after the second time I've seen it. Like, I don't get worn out by it, Like, I keep that effect going.
All right.
I'm not talking about the worn out aspect of it. What I'm talking about is that you don't want to ruin it.
You want to preserve what it has.
Right. Especially with the choices. Like in video games now, the choices. Nobody wants to go, well, I don't want to say nobody, because a lot of people, a vast majority, do not want to go back and get the other story for The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead Season 2, Game of Thrones when it finishes, Tales from the Borderlands when it finishes, Life is Strange, whatever else I'm missing, because those were the choices that they made. People will sit there and talk about the choices that they made, and they'll go back and they'll might go through it again. But what I mean is, when you play through it, or you watch it, or you read it, that's what the story is to you. I've had a lot of books that I will not go back to. I mean, fair warning to the listeners, I read Twilight. I don't want to go back to it because that's what the story was to me. I will read Harry Potter again and again and again. And again and again. And the Percy Jackson series again and again and again. But the Twilight thing is so special to me. And yes, if you guys want to send us some hate mail, go right ahead. Because I will give out my Twitter handle at the end of this, and you guys can send me hate tweets all you want. But I like Twilight, but I will not go back to it. I loved Harry Potter, but I will go back to it.
Vampire Song.
Great movie.
Go right ahead. That is a great movie. But what I mean is, when you're sitting there playing the game, watching the movie, reading the book, whatever it is, watching the anime, there is a story that is stuck in your head. No matter, I don't care what you say. There is a story, whether you've repressed it, whether you've forgotten about it, and when you find it again, you'll go, oh, that's right.
Maybe I haven't hit it yet, though.
Yeah.
That might be it.
I think everybody has hit one. If you're over the age of maybe 10 years old, I think you've hit one. Because everybody hears stories for those first 10 years. And they continue to hear them. Whether it be through a video game, whether it be through books, movies, anime, TV shows, whatever. Manga even. Comic books. Whatever. Everybody has a story that they don't want. I don't want to say ruin because you seem to be hung up on that. But that's the only way that I can think to explain it. Everybody has that one story. And if anybody tweets me later on about this, I'm going to call bullshit on you too.
Woo! Harsh. Calling them out.
I am. Because everybody has that story.
Beat them up. Kick them in the ball.
Whether it be a good... Mikey, it doesn't even have to be a good story. Okay? It doesn't. Like, it can be something that's absolutely terrible. That you want to forget even. But it's still, you will not go back to it.
Okay.
Because it has such a special place.
I think I've hit one of those in that case. Oh God. Yeah, I think I've hit one of those, but I'm forgetting it. Think of it. I'm trying to think of it. Before
like I said, it doesn't have to be positive. It can, like, I do want it to be in some kind of medium, like video games, books, anime, TV show, manga, comic books, whatever. It has to be something like that.
No. I've hit something. I've hit something in the mind, but I am...
Like Death Note, I tried rewatching through that anime. I've tried rereading the manga. I can't get past the fifth episode because I know what it is. And that's what the story was to me.
Ooh.
So like, what is your... Did you think of it? Or...
I one of those moments where I've hated something and never go back to it. But I'm trying... Just move on. If I remember it somehow, I'll bring it up later.
Yell it out.
I will. I will scream it like the ice cream truck that might miraculously come here one time.
If he comes. Just letting you know, right now we're in Carbondale.
Oh, God.
If you hear a screaming white kid, ice cream truck,
with some very obscure-looking long sweatpants.
Please call the police.
Okay.
Please. A white kid that looks like he has a goatee, but he definitely looks like he's 14 years old, screaming about ice cream in Carbondale, Colorado. It might be him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you'll definitely recognize me by the sweatpants.
If you're like, oh God, look at those sweatpants, and they're like, yep, that's him. That's definitely him. All right, track him down. Cool, please.
Tranquilizer.
Yep.
Let's take a photo first, post that shit on Instagram.
Okay.
But,
well, like I said, and I will maintain this to all of our listeners. If you want to tweet at me and tell me that you haven't had one of those special moments, my Twitter handle is TriPolarBear. It is TRI_polar bear. Go right ahead and tweet at me. Tell me that, and I will say that is absolute bullshit. Everybody has one.
well, here's my defense to that, okay? Okay. Well, first, what if they've only played like one game?
It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be a game. You and Mikey are hung up on the game.
Or one movie, or, I mean, like, they're just not an artistic person. They just don't really enjoy artistic things, I mean, like, I don't know.
Nope. I maintain the fact that everybody has one.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, besides that fact, do you have any final thoughts? Any?
I do have one more thing that I want to share. To all of our listeners that actually like anime, the new season is actually really good. Go check out the show School Live or School Live. I don't know exactly which one it is. It's School Live or School Live. They're all spelled the same thing. Do not read the description of it. It ruins episode 1. Episode 1 is like candy in the mouth that is giving you cavities out the ass until you get to the end.
Yes. All right.
Yes. I recommend checking it out.
Okay.
If you're into love stories like I am, like with Twilight or Harry Potter. Harry Potter has a lot of love stories in it too. But if you're into love stories, check out my love story. I loved it. I love it. Go check out the new season of anime if you're into it. They're both on Crunchyroll. They both have School Live, I think, has 9 episodes, 9 episodes. My Love Story has, I think, 20.
Okay.
Both very good animes. I love them both. School Live. Like I said, do not read the description for our listeners, or even if you two want to watch it. Aaron, when I showed it to him, I said, do not read the description. He watched the first episode. He said it was painful getting to the last getting through the episode until the last minute and a half, 2 minutes. It's painful. It is. But once you get there, it makes it worthwhile.
Do we have any masochists in the crowd? So there you go.
All right, I got one, boss.
Oh God, he found it. Is it the ice cream truck?
No.
Yeah. What is it?
Wait. So this is something that, oh God, I don't know if it really puts the qualifications, but it's something that I've played. I technically enjoyed, and then I finally hit the moment where I was just like, this is stupid.
Okay, go for it.
Minecraft. Now, I love mini games on Minecraft, like game-built servers with just mini games and stuff. Regular survival Minecraft, I find so boring, so stupid, so boring. I've played on friend servers at least 3 different times, and I get so bored in 2 minutes. Like, there's nothing to do. It's so boring. I don't have that experience that they have. At first, I kind of did, but now I'm at the point where it's like survival's stupid. It's such a waste of time because there's nothing that you gain from it at all.
It's like camping.
Yeah, and it sucks.
It's like camping, but
except camping is better. I would go camping in a heartbeat and get actual air without internet compared to garbage Minecraft survival.
I doubt you would go outside.
No,
I
love
really
camping.
doubt you would go outside.
I love camping. Thank you very much.
Oh, really? All right. Good to know.
Yeah. Okay. Don't forget to bring a towel.
Yeah, Mikey, that doesn't fit the qualifications.
Damn it. I give up. Never mind.
I'm just letting you know this is going to be something that will go on for like episodes. It'll just be
Yeah.
like,
Oh, it will.
I'll be 65, and he'll be like, I remember now, it's Passion of the Christ. And they're like, what the hell is that? And he's just like, I watched a movie like in 6th grade. for my religion class, and I just could never watch it again.
Damn it.
And then to be like, sorry, that doesn't fit the qualifications. And we'll be screaming some more. And that is exactly what's going to happen. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope.
We got our first reoccurring segment, Jeremiah. How do you feel?
I like it. It's just, it only matters if we can keep doing this show.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Let's just do the episode.
I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah, because we were sitting here, and we were all like kind of struggling. We're like, hey, man, like, when are we going to do this? We're waiting for 3 other people.
We are an hour and 21 minutes into this episode.
It's a wonderful episode, okay?
Yeah, okay.
We're almost wrap up at this point. So, I mean, I feel like it's a pretty good time. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so this has been episode 3 of the We Are All Idiots productions.
Yes,
Two of our regulars are dead. One of them, one of them's trapped on Mars. One of them is crawling through the desert, dragging along his 10-pound bowling ball and his Lucky Lucky autograph glow-in-the-dark snorkel.
Now, Jeremiah, I got a text update from them both. Okay,
Snapchat?
Yeah, I got a Snapchat from Aaron. And Anthony sent me a text. So, Aaron's current situation is he is in Aspen, Colorado.
Why?
He is trapped in a tree with the paparazzi around him because there is Mariah Carey with him on his head, just randomly on his head. Now, Anthony is a different case entirely. He is rafting right now on the highway at Glenwood. Like, he's on the train tracks trying to hitchhike to Amtrak. So that's what we got going on with those guys. I don't know what's going on. Anthony might be dead. We don't know.
Okay.
He's probably just sitting on the ground picking grass.
Yeah, right?
He's like that guy. Like
No, and he's flirting everybody around him. Like, he's flirting with every woman who walks by him.
Well, it's like a Little League World Series game. You know, he's just sitting there and he's just picking grass, and then he's just occasionally just doing this sound like, and he's just picking grass. I mean, he's just going for it.
Okay.
We're wondering what the hell he's doing, but that's all right.
All right, so Anthony might be dead. Aaron's just trapped by paparazzi. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
So for those 2 idiots, for the other 2 idiots in this podcast, our independent idiot, Jason Sirkovic.
Oh.
Mike, our Nintendo idiot, Mike Hugh McLaughlin.
Careful, honey, he's got a knife. No, I don't.
No, I don't.
And I am your idiotic host. Thank you for listening to the We Are All Idiots production podcast, episode 3. We will be trying to get out episodes every month, and we're actually going to try to do them a little more often than that. But we're going to start with once a month for now. Thank you for listening. If you guys want to tweet at me, try Polar Bear, try_Polar Bear. Use the hashtag WAIP. All right. Have a good one, everybody.
Don't get shot, kids.
I love you.